right? So let's see. So each time it responds, it is responding with a ah, so each time it responds, it is responding with a different host name here, right? So underlying it is really doing a load balancing itself. So did we write any scripts for this, like doing all this load balancing? No, right? So out of the box, everything is like working. Okay. So if I want to scale this again down, I can just go and hit this button. It scales down. Okay. So yeah.
Does the route go through the master node?
So
Back to the master node?
I will get into that in a minute. So it has multiple options. Kubernetes has multiple options. We'll discuss each of that. So you can see everything is going to only two instances. Yeah.
I'm going to ask the same question I asked before. So if there's like someone using a website or a web service and you ask to scale down and it's in the middle of making a call, does it wait till that call completes before shutting it down? Or does it just send the kill signal and if there's something that's happening in flight, it's just going to die?
So there are some options. If your application is handling sick kill, like system call, okay? If the application is handling, then it will wait for, like Kubernetes will wait for that application to basically send that okay signal. It will not wait for long. Basically, it has a timeout period. Beyond that, it will basically kill that application.
So it's up to the application container, whether it's Tomcat
Exactly.
or Spring Boot or whatever to handle that.
Yep.
The application has to respond to the signal.
Yeah, because only application knows what exactly is going on, like how to handle the failure, right?
Well, I know like F5 can see how many open active HTTP connections there are and wait till they close before removing something from the node. I just didn't know if it had similar capabilities.
There might be something, but I don't know.
So
that's what
I do know we're starting to deploy Openshift in our place of business, and I do know that it will take. If you're killing something, it will take it out of load balance first. So hopefully it will just die. Whatever connections there will die during that window before it actually gets killed. And okay. Redirect something.
Right. Okay. There are a lot of options there to help you with understand like easily go in a clean exit rather than like completely killing that container. Unless you do like force -f, it will not do that. Right. So you can see it is only now responding with 2 containers because I scaled it down to 2, right? So which is pretty awesome. So and if I want to update some source code on this, I can just go update here. Let me go and then update some source code here. Let's say I want to change to be 1.1 and then commit the changes. And then if I have a webhook, it automatically kicks off a new build. Oh, this is not a source image. Okay. So I can do a source image as well in OpenShift, but Kubernetes basically expects a Docker image. This will be my last demo on this. So basically, source image is a process where you can directly convert your source into a Docker image. You don't need to write Docker file. This is very useful if your organization is trying to adopt containers, and not everyone in your organization is on the same page, right? Like some people know how to write Docker file, but some people just want to code, right? So in that case, as an operation, I can just build something like this, which is again out of the box, but you can build your own. And let's say I want to deploy a Node.js application. So this enables us to basically convert your source code directly into a Docker image. So how it gets converted? Think of me as a developer. I come here. I want to deploy a Java Node.js application. I come here and then select the JavaScript template, Node.js 4 or whatever it is, and then select, give it a name, and then provide my source code where it is. So my source code is here. This is a generic Node.js application, and then hit create, right? So when you hit create,
I'm sorry, it's the same question you gave me many times. Is this OpenShift or Kubernetes or both?
This is OpenShift.
Okay.
Okay. Kubernetes expects only Docker images, whereas there are toolings around like Kubernetes to make it easy for all kinds of developers to adopt it, not just like container savvy people, right? That's the whole focus. So you can see a build is happening. If you look at the log, it cloned the source code, read the package.json file, converted into a Docker image, pushed into Docker image, Docker registry, and then deploying currently onto a node. Okay, so everything happened without me writing a single Docker file, which is great, right? Like if you want to bring it to everyone, this is the way I would encourage. So if I go click on this, my application is ready to go. Right? All right. So yeah.
In the case where you have a debugging use case where you want to get an image and deploy it locally, is it working as well?
Yep. All these images that you see are basically pure Docker images. You can pull them on, like do Docker run and then execute that as well. It's totally possible. Yeah. Multiple what else?
So like, you know, you got multiple reasons to switch your cluster and apps across.
Yes, yes, yes. So you can deploy Kubernetes across multiple availability zones, multiple regions. It's theoretically possible, but do you recommend it? I don't recommend it. So because you need to have a good connection between the nodes and your master, or in between nodes, because they all communicate in between them. We're going to discuss in detail like architecture of Kubernetes, but multiple availability zones definitely. Like East 1, 2, 3, you can do it, but across regions, as of now, no, I guess.
And then would you apply labels to the nodes so that you know where it is, so that
Yep.
you can spread them out, have anti-affinity and stuff like that?
Yep. So the scheduler inside Kubernetes is smart enough to do affinity rules and anti-affinity rules. Like let's say you want your applications to run across some racks. You don't want to run in the same node, like same operating system. You want to run like in different racks. You can label those like nodes with different racks, and then you can basically specify a anti-affinity rule so that it will always go and land on different racks. So you can do that as well.
Does it have like on to like forum and things like that, and then it goes down so it knows kind of master
Exactly. Yep. All the masters are highly available. Even if your entire master goes down, your application still runs. So how? I'll show it. Okay. But masters are again highly available. All it needs to run is like if your ingress point is working, like your load balancer provided cloud provider or your ingress load balancer, then your applications are still running happily, even if your entire master goes down. But which is a rare case because masters are again highly available. You basically have 3, 5 masters. If one master goes down, immediately another master will be elected. Yes. For testing? Yeah. So I didn't get that. So is it testing or trace? Test. Passing the package. Oh, so there are different tools available for that. Let's take Kubernetes community, right? There are a whole list of vendors who can do that. Let's say like Black Duck or Artifact, JFrog guys, or there are plenty of vendors who do that piece very well. So Kubernetes is specifically designed for distributed systems. So the core of itself is focusing on one thing, which is like distributed system very well, rather than involving everything like you said, right? Like code quality analysis. There are very good people who do that, very good companies who do this piece very well. So Kubernetes is mainly focusing only on the core piece of it. Whereas different vendors who just plug into Kubernetes and then look at the source code, all these pieces are available.
So I think one of the areas there is like with the build, Is there a way to have your tests run and make sure that everything passes? And okay.
So if you are interested, I can show that like you can set up a CI/CD workflow like in minutes, and then it can do testing all these pieces using Jenkins. You want to see that?
So earlier you described it as like controlling your whole data center, but would you have like multiple instances for like a test type environment that pulls from possibly your dev branch or your named branches, and then have a separate OpenShift or Kubernetes for prod, or is that a silly way to think about it, or like does it transcend that idea of having separation?
Right. So yeah, I get this a lot. So because most of the organizations are just getting started with containers, right? So they have still have that mindset of okay, let's put these two separate things until we get comfortable with those things. Theoretically, you don't need to put them separately because you have labels to take care of those things. But as of now, I'm seeing a trend where you have a different cluster for dev, different cluster for prod. Like dev test is one, and then prod is like whole different thing. But I think eventually that will be taken out.
Yeah.
CentOS, you can pretty much start on any operating system which is like Linux. Yeah, Openshift origin is everywhere. You can basically run it on any machine. Yeah.
So one of the things that if you are going to run dev, your test and prod all the same thing, Kubernetes is a way to specify your limits and requests on things. And if by default, if you don't specify any of this, like if you're someone with a developer who's throwing stuff at it, you can oversubscribe to the fact that you have performance degradation in production environments because of that.
Yeah.
So just
yeah, you're right.
Way, just make sure that you use some of the new features that are ACLs that kind of limited by namespace. So if you have production namespace, this gives this much quota basically, so that you have that available. So someone can more like 1,000 pods.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. So you basically you can control how much CPU, memory, and network how much CPU and memory each application can consume. You can specify that in Kubernetes, but there are some work is going on basically because when you start the application, you really don't know how much to allocate. You might over allocate or under allocate. So there's some familiarity that you need to get with the application before you actually decide it. So there are a lot of blockers around that. I think that is primary reason why they don't want to mess up the mix dev environment and prod, and also for operations also this is kind of new tool. If the fat finger something might blow up. So that's a kind of
Then you get into that DevOps culture thing of the first mistake tanks the project as far as the executive's concerned.
It's also nice if you upgrade Kubernetes itself, you got to play around and test your upgrade.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm not sure of Kubernetes, but OpenShift has a possibility of upgrading the cluster itself, like rolling upgrade. You can do that. You basically spins up a new cluster, points all the traffic to the new cluster, and takes out the old cluster whenever you want. That is possible. It's like they want to do rolling upgrades for everything. Right? So, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not covering sorry, but I'm OpenShift is it completely in lieu of Kubernetes, or is it as you're using when you were on the command line, you were using OpenShift, and I saw you use control that for that, so that's Kubernetes. So kind of confused. Do you have both in this environment, or is it just one or the other?
We have just one environment, that is OpenShift. But when I showed the initial slide, right? OpenShift is equal to Docker plus Kubernetes plus some awesomeness. Okay. So again, it's Kubernetes, but it has more features than Kubernetes.
It's really like OpenShift is an overlay on Kubernetes.
Yeah.
That provides some additional features.
Oh,
So Kubernetes is more than 100 member. OpenShift is a distribution.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So Kubernetes is like Linux, and then I can't compare that. But the origin is again open source, so it's not really compatible anyway. So anyone interested in seeing the pipeline stuff, or you want me to move to the Kubernetes side of it?
I'd like to see pipelines.
Okay.
Right.
Do you have any questions? Right, cool. So the way I would deploy this application here is, so I have this source code running on version v1.1. If you want to change something, so if I want to change the source code, what's the typical way? I would go to GitHub and then change the checking a new source, checking a new change, right? So let me go there and then let me make this version as v1.2, okay? And then commit this change. So you can have a GitHub webhook which actually pushes a build process, but for the sake of demo, I'm going to do it manually. I'm going to do welcome and then start build. Now, let me bring this here. I'll quickly show what exactly is happening. So you can see a new build is happening, right? Maybe, yeah, so there's a 1.1 version running now. Immediately you can see 1.2 version coming down, right? If I have more, what it does is it does a rolling deployment, like it brings up a newer version, takes out the older version, brings up a newer version, takes out the older version. So without you actually writing a lot of code, you can do a rolling deployment out of the box. This is all Kubernetes features. If you want to test it out again, I can just do a change, but you can see it right here. So this is 1.1 and this is 1.2. If you have the right health checks on your application, you will not see an interruption at all. Right? Yeah.
Okay. So does you have the built-in concept of like zero downtime points, like blue green style failover?
Yep.
It's just a base like
So Kubernetes has rolling deployments, blue-green deployments, whereas Openshift has both of them plus a canary-like deployments where you can split your traffic between older version and newer version. I can show you that. So let's say this is your newer version, this is your older version. Okay, I'm going to keep both of them in the same number so you can see it correctly. If I go to routes and then this is my production URL, right? Like welcome is my production URL, and this is my newer application. So this is my production application, and this is my newer version. Let's assume that, okay? So for this production application, I want to split traffic between my newer version and, my older version and my newer version. So it's pretty simple. You don't need to write a lot of magic. All you do is go to route, select actions, edit, and then split traffic. I want to select the application which you want to split traffic. And you can basically select like how much percentage you want to do this. I'm gonna stick to 50%. I'm gonna come in. So 50%, 50%, and then save this. That's all you need to do. So your traffic is split between two applications, two instances. One is on V1 and one other is on V2. Is it really working? Let's see here. So OC get routes. So I'm going to welcome dev is my, I think welcome dev is, yeah. So if I do this, okay, I need to set up a annotation on the router. Like for this router, I need to set up annotation, which is kind of like one single command. I don't have it handy, but this is what basically you need to basically split traffic between your older version and a newer version. That's all. Like very easy. But this is a Openshift feature. Kubernetes has rolling deployments. Let me show that. If there is some problem, you can always go back and then take it out. You just say go actions, edit, and then remove that. That's all you need to do. It will go back to your original application. So you can think of it as a canary deployment or your like it's a partial canary deployment, not a true canary deployment, but addresses a lot of things. Yeah.
Do you have a button to auto fix the data that comes from that bad deploy?
No.
Oh.
Data is a big problem. I wish there is something like that. So yeah.
Is it aggregated logging, dropping system logs from each of those instances somewhere that is near you?
Yes, I think this cluster has that logging. Let me try. So let's say this is my container, right? These are logs inside the container. But if you want to see the aggregated logging, you can just click on View Archive and then accept that certificate, set certificate, and you will see everything inside your Kibana interface, right? So I did not test on this cluster, but I'm hoping it would be coming.
Is there Elasticsearch in there too?
Yeah, this is Elasticsearch, basically collecting all the container logs into a centralized location. That's your Elastic logs. So you can see all those logs. So even if your container goes down, all the logs are safely somewhere inside your centralized logging system. So this is not there in Kubernetes. Every company has their own kind of requirements around this. Someone wants to push all the logs into a Splunk like kind of solution. Someone wants to put like out of the box Elasticsearch. It again depends on your use case. But everything is posted. So whatever you split onto console, everything will be collected. But you can have different collectors for, like, let's say syslog or something else. You can definitely do that. Right? Any question? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, maybe some solution is there, but I'll definitely check on that.
Can you repeat the question?
So the question is, blue-green kind of deployment is available for stateless apps, like web applications. But what about stateful apps, like maybe MySQL or I think deploying a newer version of Docker image is very simple, but how you deal with your data is something. Yeah.
As long, like he was showing earlier, as long as you're just running the MySQL process and you're using persistent storage, the only stateful thing is your configuration. So as long as your configuration is dropped,
Yep.
you should be fine.
I'm assuming that.
Oh, that's all.
So there's something called as stateful sets inside Kubernetes, which is specifically designed for distributed applications. Like thread sets, stateful sets. There's a lot of other concepts in Kubernetes which are designed for, let's say, a distributed database like Mongo or a Kafka, like kind of messaging stream, or some other distributed database. So all these are basically using Kubernetes concepts called as like thread sets and stateful sets to do that. He's asking about that, I guess, right? Or just database. So MySQL, like MySQL, if you want to upgrade that Docker image, it's pretty straightforward. As you see, like application upgrade, it is same thing for MySQL as well. But like if you're looking at the present concepts of, it's same thing. It's same thing. If it is attached, so stateful, by stateful means there are two things here. Kubernetes has a concept called stateful sets. If you're not talking about that stateful set, then it is totally possible that the MySQL container running on one node can upgrade to a different version pointing to the same database. It's totally possible.
But do you guys do that with your log aggregation, Elasticsearch, and that stack? Would you do a rolling update on that? Or?
All these components?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Because that all
Mostly
comes
yes.
packaged.
Yep. Entire cluster is again rolling update. So we cannot do everything rolling update.
Can you use external clustering things like with MySQL? You can use Galera. Is Galera something that you wouldn't try inside of this
I've seen
machinery?
people trying it.
You see people trying it?
Yeah.
Were these people very frustrated by the time they were finished?
So it used to be a frustrating topic before petful sets and stateful sets,
Sure.
but after the introduction of stateful sets or pet sets, it became very easy. Those concepts are specifically designed for distributed systems because all these distributed systems, when they boot up, they need to have some kind of identity, like a predictable identity, not just some random name that you see here, like some when you spin up a container, you get some random name, right? But when in case of distributed systems, you need to have some predictable name with an index. So these pet sets are like concepts are designed specifically for those distributed systems. It became very easy. And there's a company that is supporting Postgres, like production grade Postgres like on top of Kubernetes. I can't recall that, but they're providing
Crunchy data.
Crunchy data, yeah. Right. Oh, okay. Sure. So Kubernetes has a concept of secrets. Uh, so there are two things here. By default, you can create a secret from, let's say, a SH, like term files or public keys. You can basically create secrets from those files, or you can just create like key value pairs, like username, password. You can create. Openshift has more features than Kubernetes, but you can pretty much create like secrets. But all these secrets are like base64 encoded in secrets. So is it really secret? As of now, it is not. It is just a base64 encoded secret. But there are solutions using Vault to integrate and truly make it very secure for using secrets, right? And there is a upstream work going on like in Kubernetes I think this is like number one concern for everyone, and they are really focusing on that. So if it is not there in Kube 1.6, it will be there soon. That's my goal.
When you say Vault, you mean HashiCorp Vault?
HashiCorp Vault, yeah.
Right.
So Kelsey Hightower, we are going to use his report today. So he has implemented some like using Vault and then using init containers how to securely transfer your secrets from master or etcd and then go on to node. All these are implemented, but it's not like straightforward. You can go and implement. You need to know kind of in and outs of that. But I'm guessing sometime soon it will be like a native feature for Kubernetes. 107, yeah. So that's like I think number one concept for everyone. Any more questions? Right. So I'm gonna quickly deploy a CI/CD workflow, and then we'll jump into Kubernetes architecture, right? So for this application, if I want to set up a CI/CD workflow, I need to, let's say, I have a dev project now. I want to have a QA project, okay? So QA folks need to pull image from dev to QA and then test that same application which developer has certified, okay? And also, I will set up a CI/CD work project where I will deploy Jenkins, okay? Because we are going to use Jenkins like native to talk to Kubernetes and then deploy the application. So in this project, to deploy Jenkins, it's very simple. I just need to go to add project, and then so let's look for Jenkins. I can select any one of these. Select F1, and then that's all you need to deploy a Jenkins instance. It is going to start up a full Jenkins Docker Hub image and then deploy Jenkins, and it is tightly integrated with Kubernetes. Okay. I'm going to show how it is implemented, but this is all you need to deploy a Jenkins instance. And so step one is done. All right. Now, what you need to do is you want to pull application from development namespace to a QA namespace. How do you do that? In order to do that, like I said, in order to pull and push images, you need to have some kind of permissions. I'm going to quickly set up those permissions. So there is a simple script which basically does that. So OC policy, again,